vibe one time for your mind.
Welcome to Sunbeast Live. I'm Adrian Valente with Sunbeast, and if you're one of our dental partners, you're in the right place. Happy Wednesday, March 18th. Boy, the time has been flying. I hope you all are doing well. Thanks for joining our weekly educational series for trained and certified Sunbeasts like you to help you build your comfort and confidence as a Sunbeast partner. And we cover different episodes every week, different topics. There's a lot going on this March. But before I get too far into things, a couple of housekeeping items. For those of you that are new to Zoom events, we have a couple of controls to help you out, participate in the conversation, ask us questions, or react and share how you're feeling. A lot of love today in the chat. Good to see everybody. And because we cover different topics each week, you can always reach out to our success team for help whenever you need it. So if you want to schedule team training or get one-on-one coaching, maybe you just need marketing refills or want some consultation to help you be successful using Sunbeast, that's exactly what the success team is there for. So don't hesitate to lean on them. Of course, that's complimentary. It doesn't cost you anything extra. And then on Wednesdays, we are normally joined by show producer and co-host Queenita Brown, but she is out on spring break. So it's just me, just us. Hey, everybody, let's check in with the chat. Howdy. Hello. Good to see everybody. Flora. Good to see you. Callie, yes, I am in great company. Thanks to all of you for being the great people that you are. We love our Sunbeasts. This community is wonderful. Speaking of community and all the lovely things happening in the dental industry, I don't know if any of you are going to be at the ADOM regional meeting in Newport Beach, California this week. I'm going to be presenting one of my CE courses, Case Acceptance Essentials, How and When to Offer Patient Financing. So if you happen to be going to ADOM on March 20th and 21st, check me out on the 20th around lunchtime. I'm going to be in breakout session number 3. So if you're nearby, feel free to check it out. I'm going to be there. A rare appearance. I'm usually here in my little studio right here. But what else is happening? Oh, that's right. The Elite Escape. The Elite Escape. We bought a box, a different bunch of these, and I try to choose a different color each week. So this is this week's. The Elite Escape, it's happening now. It started March 2nd. It's going until May 30th. And 20 Sunbeasts are going to have their opportunity to win a trip to Hawaii with a +1. We're really excited for this. In fact, big news. Actually, hold on a second. Let's kick things up a notch because the leaderboard is now live. Okay, hold on. I'm going to pull this up. Let me get a link in the chat. Use the QR code on the screen. It's going to ask you for a password. That password is Sunbeast. You're going to go to sunbeast.com/SB Elite Escape Dental. SB like Sunbeast. Sunbeast.com/SB Elite Escape Dental. It's going to ask you for the password, and that's Sunbeast, all lowercase, SUNBIT, Sunbeast. Let's actually go ahead and check in with the leaderboards now. Oh my goodness. I think a couple of you are on your way to being in the Paradise Pick. You just got to have 10. Once you get to 10 unique patients helped, so, if you've split transactions with a patient, that's just one unique person helped. So this, you can search for yourself. Go check it out. I think Candy's real close, aren't you? Oh my goodness. But this has been pretty great to see. In fact, did I see Claudia Perez in the number 10 spot already? Is she here? My goodness. Things are heating up in the land of Sunbeast. You can so this is really exciting. Now you can really track what's going on. If you have any questions, reach out to sbsupport@sunbeast.com. I'm going to put that on the screen here. So we're checking in, and we got this. You got email communications. Make sure you're tuning into your Sunbeast mobile app so you don't miss out on anything happening. I know we've been doing giveaways. There's been all sorts of stuff. So way to go, everybody. This is absolutely fantastic. And now a lot of people are almost there, and some of you, like Claudia, already past the 10. Now, once you get to 10, it unlocks 10 raffle entries, And then every person you help after 10 just keeps going, no limits. So, Diana de Garcia, she's helped 58 unique patients with Sunbit. So her name is in she's going to be one of the top 15. But the top 15 are going no matter what. So like Jada or Anna or Victor, Laura, like these people have their names in there 27 times for the Paradise pick. So look at it that way. Anyways, can't believe it. Really exciting. Thank you, Sunbeast team and Ops Marketing for putting this together. Yay, leaderboards. Okay, we're going to come back to it. Ooh. So, to help you out, we're going to be focusing on Sunbit's #1 conversion tool, and that's your Sunbit pre-qualification link. This thing, it was actually created during COVID. That's when we came out with it at the time. I mean, back then, everyone was just using our tablets. And a lot of the merchants at the time were like, oh, we love the tablet, but, I don't got people in front of me now, and I need to send a link. So we made this link, and it has become the #2 tool. The #1's a tablet, hands down. Now, if you're in the state of Illinois, you can't use a tablet, so you're doing web links exclusively. But the process is the same. It's the same. So that's why we're going to be focusing on this today. Because to help you with the Elite Escape, one of the things you really need to think about is conversion. We know Sunbit has a high approval rate, but did you know it also has a very high conversion rate? And the pre-qualification link has a high conversion rate of people getting approved into converted same-day dentistry. So, whatever flavor of Sunbit you're using, whether it's an iPad, whether you're sending a link, or you're using a platform integration like Weave or others, you have the ability to send people to their own custom, personalized options. And they can do it from any device. And all of those approvals end up in your dashboard, dashboard.sunbit.com. So whether you're using dashboard or the tablet, same login for both. If you want to know exactly what I'm talking about, follow along. Head over to dashboard.sunbit.com and look for the blue button in the top right corner, Start Application. You're going to see the information listed there for you to get started, and you can track all of those after sending a link. You can track them all on the Applications tab over at the Sunbit Business Dashboard. Once you see all those applications, you'll be able to click and expand to see their progress and see exactly what they see. Where are they stuck? What step are they on? Maybe they're calling you on the phone because they have questions about the financing details they're seeing on their phone, and you can see the exact same numbers on your screen. So if you're not already using your Sunbit Business Dashboard, you should probably start using it. It's a pretty great tool, especially to have that kind of visibility, don't you think? Ooh, wasn't that timing with the music so good? It was so good. Anyways, so to help us get into the whole pre-qualification link thing, it becomes this question of, well, if the majority of people who are using the pre-qualification link, if they end up actually using Sunbit to do same-day dentistry, or finally say yes to the treatment you've been recommending for a while, well then how do you get the pre-qualification link to more people? Because then it just becomes this matter of, how do I make it just easy for people to access as early as possible whenever they want? That's the attitude. That's the tone we should be talking about there. So when we think about, hold on a second, Candy Bevins, I love the analogy with the Domino's pizza tracker, being able to see that progress on the dashboard. Wait, what's Callie talking about? Being able to check in and know exactly where people are with their Sunbit process that's a great analogy with the pizza tracker. I really like that. Because a lot of times, folks need to be reminded, maybe they need a nudge, and having visibility into where they are may help you be a lot more prescriptive in how you do your outreach. So let's look at a couple of examples of this. For those of you that have been with the program for a while, you've seen some of these before. But for those of you that are new, or maybe you have been here before and you just need a refresher, many of you remember Robin Davis. We love to talk about Robin. Is Robin actually here right now? Hold on a second. I always like to check. Oh gosh, there's too many of you. I can't. No, Robin's probably busy doing Sunbeasts. But she has this email template we absolutely love. And the subject line is "Need a little extra time to pay." And she sends this to folks. She sends it as part of her outreach leading up to an appointment, which is incredibly clever. And we've had Sunbeasts on the program before. Like remember when Callie was telling us how because people know they have options before they even leave the house for an appointment, it helps to cut down on no-shows and cancellations? You guys remember when she was talking about that? And for those of you that are putting it out there for people to easily, get to and explore and see for themselves, the sooner you do it, the better. So when you do like Robin's doing, you got an email template with just some high-level value propositions, and we actually have a whole bunch of templates. But today we're not talking about marketing. There was a whole episode about that. Check it out on YouTube if you want to go back. But the text reminders, it's a very interesting place. We see more and more, and maybe some of you are seeing this too, as much as I begrudgingly don't like it. Text messages are hugely popular. A lot of people prefer text message communications over a phone call. And I'm sure a lot of you have adapted either happily or grumpily like me. But, it's we got to meet people where they're at. Good example of this, just to be a bit personal. I've been doing this training for 7 years. I've been with Sunbit for a decade. And it's always been on Zoom. And it wasn't until this year we decided, as uncomfortable as it was, well, we're going to put this on YouTube and we're going to put it on Spotify, and because that's where people are going to look for stuff. When I need help with something, I go to YouTube and I try to watch videos about whatever tool I'm learning or process I'm trying to understand, or maybe I listen to podcasts are usually to help me with work stuff. I'm in the car, and we at Sunbit, I talk about this all the time. We have to go beyond the gates. Beyond the Sunbeast gates. We do a great job internally when you're in the gates, but not everyone's looking in there. They're looking, elsewhere. So, it's the same thing with your pre-qualification link. You can keep it insulated in your office experience and environment, but maybe you need to figure out a way to get it out there beyond the front door. So when you think about text message reminders, it could be just simple language, or it could be leveraging your pre-qualification link. So what am I talking about? Let's actually go into an example. Is Jessica Jones here? Hold on, let's check in with the chat. Jessica. Erica, I sure hope Queenita is enjoying her spring break this week as well. Jessica's here. Let's do the thing. Jessica, I'm going to use you for my example here in just a moment. Hang on, but there was something interesting in the chat. There was a big message there. My goodness, let's go back. Courtney Scott. When the patient schedules online, I send this right away to touch base with them easily. So here's the message. Courtney Scott. Hello, this is Courtney at Aggie Dental Center. I wanted to follow up with you to see if there's any dental insurance you'll be using for your upcoming appointment with us. You'll also receive a link to Sunbit, which allows our patients to make monthly payments instead of all at once if they'd preferred. We look forward to meeting you. And cleverly has her Sunbit pre-qualification link, and I can tell it's her custom one for rewards points because it has that custom code at the end of it. Custom code. You know what? Let me scroll. So, Courtney, that was so good. We're going to do 20 bonus points for that one. So let me make a note here in my handy dandy notebook because I don't have Queenita here. So I got to do all this by myself. No, it's okay. Let's go back to chat. Courtney, an extra 20 points. And that's a good one. Use this. Courtney put it out there for all of you Sunbeasts. So if you're sitting there going, how do I do that? Okay. Send the link to yourself. And the thing I was talking about, that little 4-digit code at the end. So you have a generic link for your practice. So here's a good example from Kayla Demla at Restoration Smiles, where her custom link, the one she sends to yourself, that's the one you get points on. So Jessica Jones, finally, let's get back to you. I'm gonna pick on you real quick. So let's go to my iPad. I got it right here. And I'm logged in to Jessica Jones's practice, Mountaintop Perio, Colorado Springs. So Jessica, you're gonna send me a link, basically. I'm gonna do that right now live. And I go up to the corner. Ooh, you have Spanish. Ooh, I see you have Spanish up there. Very nice. If you don't have Spanish, talk to our success team. They can get that going for you. All right, so we're gonna open the menu. We're gonna send a pre-qualification link. And Jessica, you're the only one at your team who does Sunbeasts? Aw, you do all that by yourself? Amazing. And I know many Sunbeasts are just like you. Lovely me. Let's go into, so we're gonna put in an email. Now, I did this earlier to save a little bit of time. So Jessica, you probably got points about an hour ago. But let's go over to my browser where we had the Elite Escape, and I'm gonna change tabs. So if you send a text message, here's what it looks like. So, Jessica from Mountaintop Perio sent you a link to apply. Hold on a second. Maybe you've never seen this. Maybe you've been sending links and you've never seen this. And you're thinking, oh my gosh, this whole time I could have just sent it to myself. I could have just sent it to myself. Yeah, it's just a text message. In fact, I did both. So here's the text version, and I can see at the end of her link, she has this custom code. I know that's Jessica's. So if Jessica copies this link and then saves it, save the link, put it in a bookmark, put it in an email, put it in a notepad, and then you weave that into your text messages, your reminders, any outreach you do, use that link. Here's the email version of it. I'm going to switch. So I sent myself both. I emailed it and I texted it so I could see. And this gives you visibility. You know what you're looking for. You know what the subject line is. So if you're trying to help patients, send it to yourself. No harm in doing that. Really easy. Some of you were telling us in a previous episode, you're like, oh, well, how come it's asking for my phone number? And that's because you opened it. Because the first thing it does is verification. Here, I'll do it right now. So in fact, this is when the points happen, by the way. So Jessica probably got points because the act of clicking the link verifies the email. That's where you get points. So you don't get points for sending pre-qualification links. You get it when they open it and get started. And the first thing it does is ask for your phone number to start the process. Now on the iPad, you're scanning an ID and then they're typing in their phone or email. But when you're sending pre-qualification links, this saves you time later because then in the guided app on the dashboard or the tablet, it remembers them. It has their phone and email already typed in there. And oh goodness. So Carmen mentioned in the chat, I haven't had any success getting some help with this, getting your unique link. So Carmen, let's see if you can follow along with this and see if it works. So if you're able to open up your iPad or your business dashboard and just send the links and do both. Do it like I did, maybe. Do a text message and an email. Maybe, and hopefully that'll get you to it. And what you're looking for, like we're seeing, is at the end of your location's name, there's like 4 to 6 random digits. So the link is shareable. So, Lee asking a question in the chat. Let's go check in with everybody real quick. So let me back up. Griselda. Okay, let's tackle these questions real quick. Griselda, how can we check out a patient who's already pre-qualified? Oh, scanning an ID is a security measure. It's a security measure. You got to do it. You got to do it. Because how else would they do it? Right? Like if they're like, you have an iPad, I'm assuming, because you're talking about scanning IDs, right? So the alternative is a login or a special, like how would they access their custom details again? Scanning the ID is actually one of the most secure methods to do that without them having to remember a PIN code or a login or a link. It's just like, you got your ID on you, because everybody does, and just scan it. And that's for the patient's safety. So good question. Elizabeth, I'm sorry, going back to Griselda, I'm glad you asked that. But if it helps when talking to a patient, oh, why do I got to do that? Well, it's for your safety, for your security, to avoid fraud. Very good. Very good. Lee Taylor. Will it not work then if I've gone through the process myself? You can go through the process on the pre-qualification link as much as you want. You can, and that's why it's good to send to patients. Even if they've been declined, you can share that link with them for a rainy day. Check it out again in the future. Your details may change. Your approval may change. In fact, that's why so many Sunbeasts, they bookmark their link because they just copy and paste it all the time to share it with people. Right? Just like you probably copy and paste your email or your address or your phone number a bunch of times for people over and over and putting it in emails and all this stuff. Same thing with this link, making it that easy. Just copy link. Yeah, don't open it. Oh, Elizabeth, but I figured out you got to do it on the iPad, not the dashboard. So the dashboard one is different because a lot of people are pre-entering information. The only states you can't do that is Illinois and California. There's some laws around pre-filling in patient information for financing applications. But in other states, what you're seeing is the ability to put in people's information. So that is sending a deep link with data attached to it. So yeah, if you're sending it from the dashboard, that is one consideration. So the iPad is definitely the way to go there. But if you need help, and the success team can't help you, what you could also, or they're backed up, not that they can't help you, but I know they have a lot going on, especially in the middle of Elite Escape right now. What you could also do is, let me think about this for a second. So if you're looking for your unique link, you could call partner support. But it's unique. Yeah, success. That's actually, I've reached a gap in my knowledge. We've reached a gap in my knowledge. I want to learn more about this too. Glad we're bringing it up here on the show. That's what this is for. We're all learning, me included. Samantha asking, Jessica also bringing up a good point. Jessica Jones, scanning gets you higher amount approvals in the pre-qual link. Interesting. Samantha, is it just one custom link for the office or let me actually go back to a visual here. Every office has a generic link. That's for marketing purposes. That's actually the link that's at sunbit.com. We have a store locator, so if people want to see where else is Sunbit, because we're popular in dealership service centers for parts and tires and that kind of stuff. So they're going to our website, and then they find, oh, my local dentist has Sunbit? What? And if they click on your location, we send them right to your pre-qualification link, that one, the generic one. That's for marketing. That's the one you put on the website with banners and it's not tied to a team member. But the custom link appears when you are sharing it from the tablet via text or email. And I guess for people that are exclusively using the dashboard, that becomes a big question. I'm going to find that out. We're going to get an answer to that one. Alejandra, we keep a QR code on our clipboard when we go to present. Quick, easy, and painless. Ooh, that's a good one. I like that one a lot. I haven't heard that in a while. So Alejandra, I'm writing this down. 20 points. Palomo, that's a good one. I really like, good suggestion. Good suggestion. Stacy, on the dashboard, I only see initiate application. Is there another one for pre-qual link? Oh, that's a very good question. Do I have a visual to help with this? I did not prepare for that one. However, I'll tell you this. When you go to initiate the application in the business dashboard, so when you start there, at least I can bring up this visual. The pop-up has a little message that says, if you leave the dollar amount blank, it treats it like a pre-qualification link so they can see what they're approved for. And then if you put in a dollar amount with the ID number, usually the thing you put at the end of a Sunbit, when you put those in, then it treats it like a checkout link. And that's why when you're on the application, so let's say you sent them a pre-qualification one first. You didn't put in a dollar amount because you don't know. Maybe we're not even talking about an actual treatment yet. You're just trying to show people what they're approved for, right? So you send the link, and then what can happen is that in the applications tab, once you're in that applications tab, you can then send link to pay. I'll go full screen. It might be hard to see, but it's on the right column, action, send link to pay. So then you can convert it to a checkout link. Nice. Very good. Let's go check in with the chat. This is good. Let's keep going. Let's see. Amber Jackman. Amber, good to see you. They entered their details manually, just like the iPad does for scanning. Jessica Jones dashboard link sent will show what the patient sees for amount due at checkout. Yeah, so whether you're sending it as a pre-qual link, the dollar amount's blank. So when they see their approval, they can type in whatever they want and just play with it like a big fancy monthly payment calculator. That's really helpful. That's why people like mentioning it early and often. Oh, interesting. Carmen, I'm going to click that link you sent and let's actually check it out. Interesting. Okay, so I'm going to go back. Let's actually pull up my screen so we can see this together. So actually, let me do that fresh. Looks correct. Like everything's blank, but because of that code you're getting, that should be what gets you the points. But if you're saying it's not, it might be something else. So that's mysterious. I want to look into that further. Interesting. Shelby, so your code, Shelby, you sent yourself a pre-qual link, but the link doesn't end. But does it have something at the end of it? Even if it's not exactly 3OMF, it might be something different, maybe a 6-digit code. Tara, can you send a blank application? Yes, so you can. You don't have to fill out anything. But maybe we should do a deep dive into the dashboard. That would be pretty good one day. We actually have that episode coming up, I think, on April 1st. We're doing a deep dive specifically into the business dashboard. Callie, an episode dedicated to unique links. Yeah, absolutely. I mean, we're kind of doing it right now in a way. But, you know, Jessica pointing out the success team can help. And we are hiring. We're growing. So we definitely, if you're in Las Vegas or Los Angeles or know anybody, look and let us know. But let me show you a couple other things as we start to wrap up. Because you might be curious, you know, having visibility is great. And being able to show people options and let them know ahead of time is wonderful. But I also thought it might be helpful to get a reminder of the patient process, like what's happening on their end. So as you look at things in the dashboard, you have a better understanding for like what's going on. So, you know, and that's why it's helpful to send it to yourself too. And that's why so many of us have scanned ourselves on the iPad and done pre-qualification links just to see for ourselves. That's how, we're able to confidently talk about it with others. You don't have to do it this way. That's why we do all these trainings. But you send a link, right? They get an email or they get a text. And at this point, it verifies their email. You get rewards points, and then they're putting in their phone number to do phone verification. Okay? Now, that's in lieu of, doing the tablet. So whether you're doing a pre-qualification link from the iPad or you sent a link from the business dashboard, the patient experience is exactly the same. And it's the same whether it's pre-qualification or checkout. Checkout just lets you go all the way to the end. Pre-qualification just stops before you finalize. It just stops at the debit card. So they type in their details, and it's just name, date of birth, and address. That's it. Like, we don't ask any invasive questions. And then there's the approval. Nice. And if you sent it blank, their dollar amount is blank, and they can just play with it. So if you send them a pre-qualification link on the iPad or a blank guided app link, they can just play with it like a big fancy monthly payment calculator. That's what makes it so valuable. And if for some reason you're not getting email notifications, reach out to our success team so that way you are staying up to date. But a good general rule of thumb is to keep logging into your dashboard. So remember, when you're communicating your link and pre-qualification to folks, knowing that the more people see that link, the more likely they are to say yes to care. Remember, 87% get approved. It doesn't hurt to check. There's no hard credit inquiry, no fees, no penalties, nothing. And we treat people well because our call center's in Las Vegas. We don't outsource support or collections to a third party. So, for those of you that may have missed our announcements in the beginning, I'm going to be at the Regional ADOM event doing a continuing education course in Newport Beach this Friday. So if you're going to be there, stop by my session at noon. And also we got the Elite Escape happening right now, and the leaderboard just went live. So if you want to see where you stand with the Elite Escape, head over to sunbeast.com/SB Elite Escape Dental. I'm going to put that in the chat for everybody right now. Or you can use the QR code. It'll ask you for a password, and that password is Sunday. to continue with all the good vibes throughout the Elite Escape. We're going to be helping you with more to help you get on that leaderboard, hit the minimum of 10, and you could earn your chance to be one of the 20 going to Honolulu with a guest. I'm out next week for jury duty, so Queenita's back to do Kahoot for the first time this year. We're going to be doing Sunbeast trivia and giving away cash prizes. Then on the 1st, we ain't fooling for April Fools. We're doing business dashboard deep dive and then tips from a Sunbeast coach on the 8th. We're bringing in special guests for those episodes we're pretty excited about. And be sure to follow us on Spotify, YouTube, and of course, all these sun clips in your Sunbeast mobile app. We have a new link tree with all that fun stuff, so I'll put that in the chat for everybody. But thank you so much. I'm glad I didn't crash and burn without Queenita this time. You should have seen the show I did earlier with Otto. I was having all sorts of trouble, but glad we're good for dental. But good to see everybody. I hope you have a wonderful Wednesday. Best of luck with the Elite Escape, and I hope these episodes are helping you help more patients, helping you get to Honolulu. But please reach out to us, and we appreciate your grace and patience with our success team. They're the hot ticket in town right now for Sunbeast, looking to make headway on the Elite Escape. So from all of us here, thank you so much for being part of the community, for continuing your education, and hopefully we'll see you next week. All right, folks, take care. It's been a good one, and I'll miss you. I'm going to miss you next week, but bye.